Well, hello everybody, it's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is actually 7 o'clock on Saturday. YouTube was being weird, but I started way early, so yeah, that's good. All right, let me just be sure that I am making noise out here in the universe. I think I am. It looks like I am. Ah, yes, I see my arm moving, so that's a very, very good sign. All righty. Hey, Kathy, appreciate you coming. And hopefully you will enjoy the card. I hope things are going well in your neck of the woods. Okay, so here is the card that I gave you the sneak peek of. I'm pretty certain you figured out which DSP we were using, but I kind of hope that you didn't know what design we were going to make. Hey, Lorraine. Hi, Terry and Marva. Marva, welcome to the team. Marva Dahoney just joined the team like yesterday with us, so that was very awesome. So happy to have you on board. Alrighty, welcome everybody. Appreciate you spending part of your Saturday with me. Hello, Judy. Hi, Carol. Hey, Donna. All right, so this is a card. I saw it. I went yesterday and had to get the oil changed, and it only took them 2.5 hours to do the 30-minute oil change, but that is neither here nor there. So I spent part of the time coloring some cards, part of the time doing some work, looking around on Pinterest and pinning some pins, and I saw a cute card that I think we're going to call a folded corner tile card. I made that up, but I saw it, Linda's Stampin' Escape made this. She used a different DSP, but I thought it would be fun with the Country Floral Lane DSP. And so that is what we're going to do. Hello, Laura. Or Linda, sorry. Hello, Amy. Hi, Barbara. Appreciate you guys coming. All right, so everything will be on the blog tomorrow. You can just watch and do what you want to do. Now, this is a very, very simple thing. It's truly 4 pieces of DSP, scored and folded. Kind of, done and done. Here's the only trick. And you don't even need to ask me how I know this. Especially if you have a directional DSP, like I am using here, you're going to want to lay it out like you're going to want it on your card, and then you're going to want to keep it like that, because you can't just do the measurements and then put the fold in any corner, because I promise you that won't work. It just won't. And I know this because I tried, and I've wasted about a half a sheet of DSP trying it. All right, so what we're going to do, I guess I should measure first. Measure once, cut twice. Yeah. What you're going to do is we have 4 pieces of the DSP, and they are 1 7/8 inch wide by 2.5 inch tall, each one. And they're just going to be layered onto a card front like so. But we're going to fold each of the corners. And to do that, we're just going to measure 1 inch up and 1 inch across in each of the corners, and then score it and fold it. Done and done. And I'm going to mark it with a little pencil mark so that I can then erase the little pencil mark. Erase the little pencil mark. And you do want this to be, as accurate as you can do. You could use your grid paper. Let's try that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an inch. We're going to try that. We'll set that right there like so and make the mark. And then we'll go 1 like this and make the mark. And that'll be corner there. Okay, now we're going to go corner here and corner here. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just making a little mark in each of the corners so that we can... let me just tell you what, this is a heck of a lot easier than using that ruler, I promise. So you definitely want to try to use your grid paper. It really makes it much simpler in the big scheme of things, I promise. All right, and then we have 1 more mark to make right here. Okay, there. Easy peasy. Hey, Melanie, appreciate you coming. And then I'm going to take my score tool, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to align these 2 little marks in the scoring channel. Here's a note of caution. You don't want to use like your ham fist, not saying I've ever done that, but I have. You don't want to use your ham fist. You just want to easy score it. It doesn't have to be too harsh. And these little score tools can be a little hard on DSP if you get too jiggy with it. Okay, so don't get too jiggy with it. And I'll just do the same. You can see the pencil mark there and the pencil mark there. And I'm just lining it up in the cutting groove, which in this case is a scoring groove. All right, and I'm going back and forth a few times, but I'm not pushing down very hard. It will cut DSP if you're not careful. Heck, if you work it too hard, you can make the scoring tool cut your cardstock. So you have to be a little careful. You could, in fact, also use the stylus from your score tool, or you could use a bone folder if you've got one. Here, I'll show you that. Let's see if we can try that. If I have to cut another one, I will. Let's see. Scored, bone folder, oh, bone folder. Oh, well, you know. All right. Yeah. See, that doesn't really work for me because it's too thick. But you could use the stylus from your score tool if you wanted. All right, so there's all 4 of them done. And we're just gonna kind of put them back where they go, just because that's the best way, I promise. And before you, okay, no, that's not right. Here we go. See, you gotta check. And then you can go ahead and erase those little pencil marks like that. And yeah, I felt kind of bad for the Honda guy because he really, you know, I don't want to say this like it's a real thing, but it kind of is. You know, I really kind of think sometimes they think that women don't know anything, and that's accurate. I could look at the inside of my car and not have any clue. But when I know that I'm going for a $49 oil change and he wants to spend 25 minutes telling me about the $2,400 worth of stuff I need done, and I get done, he gets done, and I said, you know what, let's just do that $49 thing. Let's do that one. All right, so we're just going to fold all of them the same direction, so away, so that will reveal that pretty DSP on the other side. All right. So this is really hard stuff right here. I hope you can do it. I hope you can do it. Hey, thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you coming. Hey, Peggy. Yes, you can watch the replay. I don't think you've missed too much. A little bit of measuring, a little bit of scoring. And it looks like you've seen about half of the folding. So there we go. Okay. Now we're going to just... like that. It's not very hard to get them mixed up. All right. But you know what I think I did? I'm thinking what I did here. Hang on just a second, because that didn't look like... Yep, that's right. I made that. These too little. I made this like regular, and I wanted an inch bigger, or 1/8 of an inch bigger. So hang tight. This one is actually more like the size of my normal mat. Hey, at least I caught it before I adhered everything to it and then was like, what in the world? What in the world? Mare? Okay, let's try that. Let's try these. These size would be much better. These size would be much better. Huddled under blankets. Oh yeah, you guys are just getting hammered. It's been quite the winter. Okay, so you can see this is going to mat on a piece of petal pink, and then we're going to adhere these, and we're just going to make sure that the reveal is kind of the same all the way around. All right? Now, I want to stamp my middle before I get these all adhered, just because I don't want to get ink on them inadvertently. So I'm just going to kind of put them in place so that I know where to stamp my heart. And then we're going to stamp the heart. All right. And then we'll adhere these, except it goes this way. See how easy it would be to bork it if you're not paying attention? All right. I have got the heart from the Country Bouquet. And I have stuck this little heart is attached to it, but I've stuck it off of the block because I don't want it. And I'm going to ink this up. Veritable heat wave at 59. Minus 26, Marva. You can have that, girl. All right, so we're going to stamp this little heart just like that. So what I'm going to do is I am just inking the top stamp, okay? I'm trying very hard not to get ink on that bottom stamp at all. And we're going to stamp it right about there in the center. Like that. And hopefully that works good. If it doesn't, there's another side. Yeah, see, it's a little bit off. A little bit off kilter. Yeah. Other side, Mary. Other side. Do the other side. All right. So the good news is this isn't very hard. The bad news is you do have to take a second to get it where you want it, okay? Now, I think we can do it like that. We'll leave that one up. And then we can put it, I know it goes right near the top of the square. There we go. Okay, now I will cover this up. 72. So yeah, but you see, you've lived there probably for a minute, and so now, now you're probably thinking 72 is chilly. Well, apparently I need some more glue. Time for more glue. This is why I keep many, many bottles in my stash. Many, many bottles. All right. Now we're just going to adhere these with liquid glue. Like so. And you do kind of want to not get any glue on the folded up corner. Just, throwing that out there, because otherwise it won't really, fold up. Because of how it won't really fold up then if you do that. Okay. Una más. Well, actually, dos más. See, I'm practically multilingual. I'm practically multilingual. By which I mean not even sort of. Not even sort of. What did I do here? Oh, pick this up. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. My goodness. See how easy that was to get screwed up? Okay. But it's okay, because I can fix this. Goodness, great. Is it going to be one of those nights? All right, y'all are welcome to put money on what I'll mess up next. Please, feel free. That's all right. That worked out just fine. I can fix it. I can fix it. Hello, Inaki. Appreciate you coming. God knows what time it is there. Is it really, really late? I'm guessing it's really, really late. Or it's very early in the morning. One or the other. I'm not sure. All right, so there we have it. There we go. Perfect. And then I am going to use dimensionales on the backs of each of these to adhere them to their respective tiles. You could glue them all the way down if you preferred, but I kind of like a little bit of a pop. My own personal self, I like a little bit of a pop. And there's a fin here. That's nice. Always nice. All right, and one more. I know, it's just one of those days. Okay, there we go. Now, for our sentiment, what I am going to do, 115. Oof. I guess you couldn't sleep. All right, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and I'm adhering it to my mat with dimensionals. And then I'm going to adhere the whole thing to the card front with either liquid glue or Stampin' Seal, whichever one I grab. Sometimes I like to do that with, especially if I'm double matting, I will put the dimensionals between the mats instead of between the mat and the card front. It just changes it up just a little bit. I mean, not like a ton, right? It's hardly a ton. All right. And that's a petal pink mat, like so. Oop, there we go. Okay, now for my sentiment, I'm going to stamp With Love from Country Bouquet in Balmy Blue. And then I'm going to snip it out. Snip it out. Snip it out. Snip it out. With my snippers and my nippers. My snippers. Very easy. This is almost as easy a fussy cut as an envelope flap. Then I'm going to take my Sweet Sorbet. My Sweet Sorbet. And edge it. So when I say I edge something, I'm just turning the brush end up perpendicular to the edge of the cardstock piece and it kind of highlighting it with that color. So for me, this gives a little definition to that piece of cut out cardstock. You see the difference? Without and with. So it's almost like having a mat. Almost like having a mat. Before we put that on, I'm going to use some of the Baker's Twine, the In Color Baker's Twine. This is the 2022-24 in the Sweet Sorbet. And I'm going to make a double length simple bow. A double length simple bow. What in the world, Mary? What in the world? What in the world? What in the world? There we go. All right. Okay, and we'll cut that. And I'm just going to put that with a glue dot like right there. And then we're going to use a double stack of dimensionals to adhere our sentiment over the top. Easy, and might I even just say, also peasy. Easy and both peasy and easy. Easy and both peasy. Finny came in the house tonight, handed me both of my shoes and something else. He tried to give me something else too. But every time he handed me a shoe, he got to go get a cookie. So he came he handed me the first shoe, went in the kitchen with Wayne to get the cookie, and then came back and picked up the second shoe and handed it to me and then looked at me like, 2 shoes, 2 cookies, right, Mom? Isn't that how that works? I said, yeah, go ahead. He's got us wrapped around his little paw. All right. I probably ought to adhere that on there with that glue dot that I said and then did not do. It turns out you can't just say, and I'm adhering it with a glue dot. You have to actually physically get a glue dot out and put it on the card and then, you know, glue dot it. There we go. Now that's going to be a lot better. I'm just saying. It's going to be a lot better. And I'm going to just put a dimensional there and put another dimensional right on top. So I just took the cover off and I'm just going to stack it up, and I'm doing that to clear that knot right there. Okay. And we'll adhere this like so, hopefully straight. Straight would be good. Straight is the best. I like straight. I mean, I don't always want straight, but in this particular case, I want straight. And I'm going to stick another dimensional under there. Yes, he is a smart boy. There is no doubt. He is a very, very, very good human trainer. For sure. For sure. All right, now I'm just going to slide that under so that it's got a little more support under there. There we go. And we're going to straighten it because I managed to unstraightify it when I put that in. Okay, now just to finish off, I'm going to use a couple 3 gold adhesive-backed milky dots. I'm going to put one like right there, and then I'm going to put a big one and a little one right there like a so. And that is our card front. This is the folded tile card front. with an extra dimensional. All right, so let's go ahead and get the inside done. And I'm going to show you a fun little thing that I did here. We're going to stamp our Sentimente. Happy Valentine's Day. You could put whatever else you wanted in here if you aren't ready for this. If you don't need any more Valentine's Day, I'm particularly fond of, I love that we are friends. So you could certainly use that. Or you could even use no sentiment. But I think it's kind of fun to have a sentiment. And then over the top in Petal Pink, I'm going to stamp the open outline heart. And I know I've done that before, but I really like it. So there's that. Now, let me show you this. There's this little image in the stamp set with some flowers and hearts and stuff. And I'm going to stamp it right down here. I'm going to do that on my envelope flap, on my envelope as well, the front. Sounds fun, Jenny. It's always fun to stamp with kitties, right? They're so helpful. All right, now, I don't want all of those images to be Petal Pink. And Petal Pink is forgiving enough that I'm going to use my Sweet Sorbet Stampin' Right marker to color the little hearts. Just take your time with it. And there's another little heart. You probably couldn't do this with a darker color as the original stamp, but it works just fine with Petal Pink. All right, we'll do this one too. Because it is even going to let me do the mint macaron piece. Which is why it's always good to have all the Stampin' Right markers. Speaking of which, you know, the 2021-23 in colors are going to probably retire at the end of the catalog. So once the list goes out, which is probably going to be in about a month, maybe a little less, the cardstock, re-inkers, and markers associated with those colors are going to fly off the shelves. So if you want to hang on to these colors and use them in the future, I highly recommend that you get them right now, right now, right now. All right, now I'm going to take this Mint Macaron Stampin' Right marker and just barely color these little leaf guys, these little leafes right here. With the bullet end. Did I do both of them? Yeah, I did. With the leaf end, not the leaf end, I'm coloring the leaves with the brush end. What a silly, silly girl. And then you can take the bullet tip and make the little dots. So that way you get a multicolored image without multicoloring the image. Did that make sense? Did that even sound sort of right? We'll do the envelope flap as well. But this way it looks like the back of the DSP on our card front. So everything ties together. Everything is fully coordinated. You know, your bed shams, your bed skirt, your curtains, the rug in the bathroom, the curtains in the bathroom, all look the same. Matchy, 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 matchy. Alrighty, here we go. All the cardstock, got 5 packs. There you go. Gosh, I'm really, really hoping we see Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen again. I really, really hope it. And Polished Pink. All right, there we go. Oh, that bothered me right there. That's bothering me right there. Okay. All right, so let's put everything together into our card. And then we're going to be just about done. All right, so I'm using Petal Pink again, like I did on the front. And I have a Sweet Sorbet cardstock card base. I meant to say a Sweet Sorbet card base, not a Sweet Sorbet cardstock card base, because that's the Department of Redundancy department. Alrighty, there we go. Like so. And then I'm just going to use, I've got the liquid glue, so I'm just going to use the liquid glue to put the card front on. Remember, my dimensionals are between the real card front and this mat right here. All right, that white piece is not really a mat, right? It's the card front. So that's how how it'll be called in the blog. The white piece is the card front and the inner liner, and then we have petal pink mats. All right, now one more piece of the heart DSP in Balmy Blue on the envelope flap, and then we will trim it off and be done. We'll be done. Yes, yes, soft succulent evening evergreen and polished pink. If we're going to be making prayers to the ink gods, could we please include polished pink? Please? Because it's so pretty with evening evergreen and soft succulent. It's one of my favoriteest color combos ever. Alrighty, there we go. So there you have it, the corner fold tile fun fold thing with the Country Bouquet stamp set and some Country Floral Lane DSP. And on the inside, Happy Valentine's Day. And you got to see how to do multiple colors on a one color stamp. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all coming and spending part of your weekend with me. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and that I will see you on Thursday at 1 o'clock for another YouTube video. Have a good one, guys. Thank you. Bye. Would I give the side of the tile again? I am not sure what that means, but yes? No, I don't know. Oh, size. 1 7/8 by 2.5. 1 7/8 by 2.5, and you mark an inch up and an inch along the bottom side for each of the corners. All right, there we go. All right, now I'm out. See ya.